I'm just gonna say it now. Erwin's playing with some kind of bell toy, and I don't have the heart or soul to stop him, so there might be just ambient bell sounds in the background of this video. Hi, I'm Caitlin E, and welcome back to the Lit Review. Today I am introducing another series thing, readathon. I don't know. But I'm doing a new thing here on the Lit Review. As I've mentioned in several videos already, I have been really passionately reigniting my love for the romance genre, and so I'm just trying to create extra ways in which I can experience the romance genre here on the channel with you. The reason I've identified this as a series or a readathon is I kind of want you to be able to participate with me if you'd like, but this is just at its core a fun thing for me to do with a weird fun thing I purchased. A while back I supported the Final Rose Tarot on Kickstarter. It was on the back, the most dramatic tarot deck yet. The dreamiest deck ever, a tarot deck inspired by everyone's favorite reality dating show. So if it wasn't painfully clear, it's a Bachelor-themed tarot deck. They completely redid all of the major and minor arcana to meet the Bachelor-isms, and I love with a fiery passion reality dating shows. They are just a good time. Won't call them a guilty pleasure because there's no guilt here. But I hopped on supporting this just as like a really fun, quirky little thing. And we're gonna potentially turn this into an experiment. So what I have done is set this up so it'll be done in episodes. That's why I'm gonna call it a series. You're free to read along with these prompts with me, but I've basically created prompts for all of the different cards that are in this Bachelor-themed tarot deck, which is not to say that this is something new and super awe-inspiring, because people have done some tarot TBRs before, and I'll link some of those folks that I know of that do tarot TBR down below. But I went through and made, it's not the prettiest of lists, but I went through and made an entire list of all the different prompts that could be related to these specific cards. And what I'll be doing is basically running my own season of The Bachelor, but with my romance novels. So I have it set up so that there will be a first impression rose, which will be a book of my choosing completely, where it's just maybe the book I'm most excited to read right now. And then there will be 2 episodes of group dates, which I'll get into in a minute. And then from there, we'll have a group date, a couple of group dates and one-on-ones. We'll have the mythical fated 2-on-1s, peak drama, the 2-on-1s. We'll also have fantasy suites for Bachelor fans. I am skipping hometowns because I just thought that was too much. And then we'll have the winner, the crowned love affair, my favorite romance novel of the season. So again, this kind of lends itself to doing it multiple times. If it ends up being something that I enjoy, that you enjoy, you're welcome to do them with me if you'd like to do that as well. I will say that at any point in time, I can say that a book is not here for the right reasons, which is basically a DNF. So that is I am allowed to DNF in this. You are allowed if you would like to do this with me. And I keep saying that, like, you don't have to do this with me if you just want to watch me go through all of this. But I want to make it open so that if this is fun for you, you can totally participate and do your own version of this alongside me as I go through all of these episodes. So this first episode, in addition to introducing this wacky concept to you, is to talk to you about my first impression rose, and then also get us set up for our first group date. How this is going to work is I'm going to pull 5 individual cards with you for the group date. Now I don't have to do 1 book per prompt for the group dates. I can mix and match. So if I can get a book that handles like 3 prompts, that's fine. The goal isn't to necessarily like bulk read a bunch of romance novels for the group dates. It's about how many I can get to fit 5 prompts. So that's totally fine. If I can't mix and match, then I may end up reading 5 books. So I could read 1, I could read 5, but it counts as the group date. And at the end of that group date, if I read more than 1 book, I will be giving one of them a rose. And that'll be like one of the contenders for my favorite at the end. So that's how this is going to work. As this progresses, I'll have 2 episodes with the group dates, and then I'll have 2 episodes where there's a group date and a one-on-one. And then I'll have 2 episodes where there's a 2-on-1 where I pull 1 card and I have to read 2 books that fulfill that prompt and pick one that I liked best. And then the fantasy suites, I'll have 3 fantasy suite cards, and those are going to be like my smut. Like the smuttiest smut to fulfill each of those individual prompts that I can find. Terribly sorry if you can hear my neighbor's dogs or my cats. Either of the 2. This is just filming in an apartment. So sorry. The best romance will be like the winner of Bachelor Tarot, or Romance Tarot, whatever we're going to call this. I didn't really think far ahead enough to name this series. So if you have thoughts on that, please let me know and we'll figure that out in the next episode. So what I am going to do is shuffle these cards with you, and we're going to pick some books. Maybe in the future I'll have a space where I can like lay out the cards pretty and properly, because they're actually really beautiful cards. But for now I'm just going to do this and kind of like try to maybe set them up back here so you can kind of see them. I'll do some close-up B footage too, but I would just want to get to it. So here is the deck. You can see like gorgeous gilded shiny things, and then all of the cards look like this on the back, this like really beautiful hot coral pink, with the gold rose. And then you'll have things like, so one of the things they've redone is they've renamed the suit like 5 of Mirrors, and this is a little rat, and it says Tattletale. So you can see they've completely reworked Major and Minor Arcana to be specific to The Bachelor. So I've been shuffling these for a couple of weeks so that they're integrated a little bit better. So I'm just going to give them like a really quick, casual, non-official shuffle. And if you'd like to do this with me, you're free to look at your own collection or browse your local library or audiobook or whatever you have access to meet the prompts in your own way. Or if you want to try to read the same books I'm reading, totally game for that as well. But you can kind of make this your own and do this along with me if that is entertaining for you. Again, not the most official tarot thing I've ever done, but that's okay. So the first prompt is the 2 of Flutes. Cheers. And so for this prompt, cheers, I have it as on my list here, something that's award-winning in romance. This could be the Goodreads list of the year. This could be the Rita Awards. So any award will work here. Okay, so we have the Page of Roses, which is the free spirit. Okay, so with the free spirit, you have to have one of your main characters who doesn't want to settle down, who's not looking for love. That has to be one of the prompts you fulfill. Ooh, okay, and then we have the 5 of Roses, competition. Read a sports romance. Sounds pretty good to me. 4. Oh no, this one is just number 16. So it's part of the extra stuff that they've added. Sent home. Uh-oh. So the prompt for Sent Home is to read a second chance romance. Final poll for this group date, and then we need to choose our books. Ooh, okay, and this one is actually number 17. This is The Cocktail Party, a book with food or drink on the cover. All right, so those are our 5 prompts. Give me a few minutes and I need to figure out what actually satisfies these things. And I'll tell you all about the first impression rose that I'm giving, which is an addition to these 5 cards here. Hi friends, it's been a minute since I figured out what the heck I was actually going to do for Bachelor Tarot. And so I'm actually sitting on the floor now because my cats didn't like it when I was above them and kept trying to attack my microphone. So now I'm on the floor where hopefully they will leave me be. And I do not have my microphone on, so if the sound's a little less than stellar, I apologize. I'm just out here trying to survive without getting my expensive equipment terrorized. So I owe you some content here on like what we're actually going to be reading or what I will be reading for Bachelor Tarot. So first things first, I want to talk through the first impression rose that I chose. And this is just the book that I am currently most excited to read from anywhere in my collection.
It doesn't have to be a new release, but it could be if I wanted it to be. What I ended up actually choosing is one that I saw as a book talk recommendation a couple of weeks ago, and it's actually from 2017, but it's Dear Erin by Mariana Zapata. And I've never read any of her work, but I hear excellent things about it. I know that she's normally a slow burn kind of romance writer, and that's not normally my jam. I like fast and explosive burn romance novels. But this one is mixed media. Ruby, our main character here, basically joins like a group where you're supposed to write to soldiers. At least like once a week during their deployment. And so it's the first chunk of this is like actually mixed media content of emails, letters, instant messenger, which I think will actually make it go a little like faster, not slow. It'll make it go faster because it is kind of a bigger book, as most of her books are. So I'm really excited to give this a try. And for some reason, this premise just totally captivated me. Maybe it was the mixed media. This came out in like 2017, but I'm just now hearing anything about it courtesy of my casual scrolling on Book Talk. So I'm really excited about this one, and this is going to be my first impression rose. And just again, as a reminder, the first impression rose can be like whatever has got you excited to get reading right now. If you want to do this your way, if you want to do your version of things. So let's go through the other prompts that we already pulled for Bachelor Tarot. So I did Cheers was our first pull, and that's the one that was basically like some form of award-winning romance novel. So I had to do some Googling for this, and I wanted to pick something that like wasn't the Rita Awards, which have now been, I think, renamed to the Vivian Awards because of that romance institution's like epic drama, which I won't go into. So I actually went back and looked at the Swoon Awards, which is something I also just found out about this year. The awards for 2021 are still being voted on. It's an entirely reader-voted award system. But I looked at the ones for 2020 and saw a book that I actually have on my Kindle. So I'll put the cover up here, but it is an Alyssa Cole pick, and it was the 2020 Best Sci-Fi Romance, and it's called The AI Who Loved Me by Alyssa Cole. So hopefully you'll see the title here. But it's supposed to be this like really cute sci-fi novel or novella where, yeah, the main character potentially falls in love with the AI next door. So that seems super cute. The cover is so adorable and right on trend with that illustrated cover. So I'm really excited about this, and I'm also going to be keeping an eye on what else the Swoon Awards does in the future. So that's one of our contenders for the group date. And then our second poll was The Free Spirit. So that is a main character who doesn't want to settle down or doesn't want to find love. And I ended up with a historical romance novel that's kind of like, I think, an interesting pick for this. And so I chose, what's it called? Moonlight Raider by Amanda Scott. So our main characters, Walter and Molly, meet as Molly is running away in the woods from a disastrous arranged marriage. And Walter is in the woods because he's like grieving and went out there to experience like his grief alone, and he runs into Molly as she is like panicked and running away from an arranged marriage. I believe she's already married. So that is why I am choosing this for this prompt, where Molly, our main character, is not happy with the marriage she's currently in. And as Molly and Walter begin to feel their feels, Walter is really torn up about the fact that she's technically already somebody else's. So they're like trying to resist their attraction to one another. My arms are getting tired. I'm going to have to start doing some like weightlifting to justify my life choices. Then we had the card for competition, which was a sports romance. And for that, I chose Alexa Martin's Intercepted. This is one that's been on my kind of like major need to read it romance pile for a while. And this is, well, very clearly a sports romance. There is a football on her necklace. But specifically, Marley is an existing like kind of professional football player's girlfriend, and she finds out that her boyfriend's been cheating on her like a lot. So she gets rid of that guy and decides that she's done with athletes. However, the new hotshot quarterback on her ex's team, Gavin, turns out to be an old flame. and she wants to try again, and he wants to try again, and so she has to navigate this awkward space of basically being in a new relationship with somebody else on the same team, the guy that just cheated on you. So lots of like interesting navigations there too. I've been really looking forward to reading this sports series from Alexa Martin, and finally glad to kick it off. I think Intercepted could have worked for one of my other prompts, but I found a book that works for our last two prompts. And remember, with this group date situation, you can make multiple of the prompts work for like one single book if that makes it easier. And I think I found a way to do that. The next two prompts were Sent Home, which is to read a second chance romance, and then Cocktail Party. So food or drink had to be on the cover. And I am going to meld those two in one book with a book that actually appeared on my Litland for February. So ka-ching, we're getting all the things done right now. And that is Flirting with Forever by Cara Bastone. So let's see if it'll focus better on the cover. There we go. This is a contemporary romance about Mary, who finds herself newly single in her mid-30s, and one of her clients is convinced, because she runs this cute little florist boutique, one of her clients is like, please try to date my son. I think you guys would really hit it off. And so she just decides to give it a go. And everything seems to be going great with John until in the middle of the date, he makes a less than flattering comment about her age. And she's just like, you know what? I don't have time for people like you. Thank you. Goodbye. Except we also get John's perspective, and John has this hang up from issues with his dad where he just has decided to be like radically honest, except his radical honesty means that he's been putting his foot in his mouth quite a bit. So he is desperate to get a second chance with Mary and see where it goes. So you can kind of see on the cover, hopefully, they are holding wine glasses. There's a picnic basket, so that's where the food on the cover is coming from. And then on the back cover, it says, sometimes you get a second chance at a first impression. So that's why we're calling this a second chance romance, even though their first attempt kind of burned to the ground quickly. So that's what we're going to read for those two prompts. I don't really have a set timeline for when this is supposed to be accomplished. I think that puts maybe like a little more pressure than I'm currently comfortable with on myself and potentially on you as well. So within the next couple of months, I'd like to get those read. And then I'll do kind of a wrap up to let you know what I thought of all of those books and which of the group date books, which of these three is going to get my rose to be potentially one of the best romances that I read in this series. So feel free to do this along with me and pick your own ones to fit the prompts that I pulled, and let me know if you'd like to do that in the comments. And hopefully in the next couple months I will check in with you and get these dang things read. So thanks for spending time with me. I hope you have a fantastic reading day. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more from me or this channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!